Hi. So, yesterday I had a dream, and I'm not sure if it relates to the 3 days of darkness. Apparently, there's a bunch of people who have been having these dreams, and so I just wanted to discuss mine because I think it could very well be related. So, it was yesterday that I had this dream where it starts off like I'm like in my room and I might have just like walked into the room. I'm not quite sure. But in this dream, I'm in this house that I lived in 11 years ago. And this was when my mom was alive. Um, so, and she had a house. I lived in it with my older brother, one older sister, a younger sister. And so I'm in my room, and from my window, I can see that it's very, very bright. It's glowing as if the whole entire sky was illuminated. And I think that's because it was. I think that perhaps the power went out, and that's why I was seeing this like glow outside that I've never seen before. I've never actually seen what the night sky looks like with my own eyes because of all the light pollution. And this was like the first time I ever had a dream like this where I could see something like this. And I was afraid to go to the window to even look outside or to, expose myself to anything that might observe me from the outside. And in to my right, because the window is to my left, to my right in the room, it's a small room, and there's this tent. And I've never had a tent in my room except when I was like a little kid. Like maybe when I was like 5 or something. Like I had like a play tent that I would go inside. This was kind of maybe something similar. It was just a small, regular tent, like probably something you could buy at Walmart for like $30. And I was really afraid in this stream. I'm not sure why it was exactly, but I had this strange feeling, or I had a feeling, as if this was like a day before the eclipse or something. I heard that you could see actually the devil's comet before the eclipse arises. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I felt like it was upcoming and it was close. And so I'm afraid in this dream, right? And I was thinking about going inside with like a weapon because I don't know why I was just really afraid. And at that same time, I hear from the other room, it's my little sister, and she's crying. And it wasn't like she's crying like she's in immediate danger. And I remember after that, like I just woke up and then like I was in tears myself because when she was crying, it reminded me of the ladies in East Palestine who were just like bawling, like crying about what had happened to them and what is was continuing to happen to them. that's still happening to them to this day, I believe. I'm not sure if they've received the help yet or if they're receiving it now. I know that there was something the other day about them getting relief from us taxpayers paying it out. So Norfolk Southern held not responsible, even though they were completely responsible for that whole mess, and there was never even a reason to burn those toxins. But anyways, I remembered just them crying, like several of them. Like I watched from Status Coup or Status Coop. They've done maybe like 100 videos. They've done many videos over there in East Palestine, just documenting what had happened over there. And I watched like all of them. And so yeah, I just wake up and I'm just like crying. And I think what had happened was I was next or my family was next, because when I saw what happened in East Palestine, I already knew from the start, I had this really good feeling, or horrible feeling rather, that it was a really bad. And so I've kept up with the story ever since, because to me it didn't sit right at all. And so that was the dream. And so I think it relates somehow because of how bright the sky was, because it was as if it was all illuminated. And I didn't want to go in front of the window or anything, because I didn't want to feel exposed, being this small creature, or this small human entity, whatever, compared to the our vast universe. We're just the Earth is just like a small pale blue dot in a giant universe. And so that was the dream. And and I think there was something happening, but like I was next. And because like I said, I've been keeping up with East Palestine because I knew how bad it was, and I knew that if enough people, if they didn't care, that it would eventually happen one by one to everybody. And so we're all living in this 15-minute city, just like in World War II, where they took the Jews and they were taking them to the concentration camps, and no one said anything, no one stood up for them. And then it was like one by one, it was like the I can't I don't know the exact order of who went one group at a time afterwards, but they ended up taking everybody who didn't have blue eyes, blonde hair. It was the Jehovah's Witnesses. They took like other religious groups, black people, like anybody who basically didn't match the Aryan race, and it was all one by one. And nobody had said anything when the Jews, when they were taking them and saying all those horrible things about them. And so that's why I was crying. I can't remember um, anything in particular before that event in the dream. I'm sure maybe there was something, but I just forgot. So I haven't tried watching anybody else's dream on the 3 Days of Darkness. I've seen like one other guy, because I watch his channel a lot. It's God Rules, and God Rules 2. His name's Tony, because I felt like he's pretty reputable, and he would probably, tell the truth about the dream he had. And so I would probably watch other people like their dreams on the 3 days of darkness, but I've seen multiple videos of people doing videos talking about their DMT experience, and every single one of them that I watched, I was like, this is fake. I like the very reputable people I believed, but like everyone else who was like talking about like their experiences, I just felt it was so fake, and it was so, like they were just doing it for the views. They were doing, um, yeah, basically just for the views. So now I have a problem. I don't even care to watch anyone else's stream unless like I really know them. Um, Let me know what you think. Like, is there a person whose dream who you think is like trustworthy that I can go and see? Have you had any dreams? Yeah, just let me know what you think. Okay, but I felt like this was something important, uh, especially considering that the eclipse is so soon. And to be honest, I'm really worried about it, seeing everything that's been going on around in the world. And truthfully, I wouldn't be so, you know, um, uncomfortable about it if people they actually just stood up for all the corruption. Because it's like been like one by one, town by town, like whole rivers feeding millions of people, and so much of our water now has been tainted and adulterated. It's really quite scary. So, and then considering all all the events and disasters that have been leading up to the food shortage we're experiencing, and yet no one's really saying anything. They're just going about their usual day. It's really quite scary. I'd like to have a farm. I'd like to do all of that stuff, but I think because of all the corruption, it's just not possible anymore. Just to have a farm, sell all organic food. Only if you're rich. It's really the only way to eat healthy, have healthy water, do all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, that's it.